Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to use macOS as the host OS and NixOS within UTM as the primary development environment. First, I'm going to go to nixos.org website to download the latest version of NixOS image. Scroll to the bottom of the download page and find the Linux distribution ISO image, and I download the minimal ISO image in this video. Next, get to the mac.getutm.app website to download UTM DMG file. Click download icon and you will get the DMG file. Open DMG file and drag the application into the applications folder. Open UTM, and since this is the first time I downloaded and opened UTM, so Mac is verifying UTM, but you just need to allow macOS to open this file anyway. And here you can see the main GUI of UTM app. Next, let's create a new virtual machine. Choose virtualize, choose other, and for the boot ISO image, just browse and then choose the recently downloaded ISO image. Continue. And in my case, I just set my CPU cores to 2 since it's a quad-core CPU laptop, and I would adjust the memory to 8,000 megabytes. Continue. I will set the storage to 64 gigabytes by default. I will skip the shared directory for now. Continue, and that's pretty much of the configuration. Rename the virtual machine to deadbox, and let's just save it. Next, I'm gonna open this virtual machine by clicking this start icon, and the deadbox is started. So we get into the NixOS installer console. The Linux system is booting itself. So basically, after the system is booted, we get a very clean and fresh copy of NixOS without anything pre-installed. Cool, we have logged in and the default user is NixOS. For now, I don't think the root user works, but you can use sudo su to change or switch to root user. Now I am root. Next, I'm gonna open the NixOS installation guide and follow the instructions as documented. If you click on Get Started, and then go to NixOS Manual Documentation, go to section 2.4, you will get a summary of instructions. You can basically type verbatim. And in my case, I would follow the example of partition schemes for NixOS on dev.sda UEFI. Make label GPT. Make part primary 512 megabytes -8 gigabytes. Make part primary Linux swap -8 gigabytes 100%. Make part ESP FAT32 1 megabytes and 512 megabytes. Set 3 ESP on. That's just very standard and regular operations. And next, we install NixOS onto dev.sda. And then make swap-l swap as dev.sda2. Swap on SDA2. Make fs.fat-f32-n boot SD3. Next, mount NixOS onto /mount. Make directory mount boot. Mount boot to /mount/boot. Now generate config using NixOS generate config. By default, the system only have Nano as the default editor, no Vim, sad. Oh, I'm a Vim user. So the first thing I would do is to find the system package and install Vim and wget and also git. How to exit. My dog just shadowed the tips. I think it's Control S. Never mind, I will try Control S. And Control X. Cool. Now I will run NixOS-install. Basically, this command will run, will install NixOS. Alright, now we are at the very end of the NixOS install output, and it asks me to type password for root, and I will just provide very simple password for root. Now before we run the reboot command, I will do one thing on UTM app, which is to clear the boot ISO image. This will prevent UTM to constantly start from installer. Now run reboot so it will remember what I have configured. So hopefully after the reboot, it will have some system packages that I asked it to install, such as Git, Vim, etc. Now I will log in as root and use the password I just typed in. And it seems Git is just being installed. Next, I'm gonna keep editing etc NixOS configuration.nix file. There are some more configurations I want to make, such as to change the host name to devbox, change the time zone to UTC, install Python 3 package, enable OpenSSH, and allow some TCP ports such as 3000 for Node.js applications, we'll also enable 8000 for regular web application, as well as 8080. I will also allow SSH password authentication. Next, I'm gonna enable Docker service by setting virtualization.docker.enable to true. Next, I'm gonna enable the X server so that we will have a desktop environment. Set enable to true. Layout to US. And for desktop manager, I will choose xterm to false. For display manager, I will set the default session to none plus i3 and light dm dot enable to true. For window manager, I will set i3 dot enable to true, and also for i3 dot extra packages, I want some more packages such as the menu, i3 status, and i3 lock. I will set lib input dot enable to true as well. That's pretty much of the configurations I have made so far. Let's run NixOS rebuild switch to apply all these configurations, and for the next rebooting we will see all these configurations being applied. This album will run for a while. Okay, I will just fast forward to when it's complete and then reboot the system again. Hopefully we can see a new desktop being started. Great. I will type root and use the password I just created. Oh, this is ugly. This is the default xterm, and I will update the NixOS configuration again to change the terminal application. The approach I am using is through Home Manager. I will simply declare a home-manager variable to built-in.fetch table from GitHub. Nix community / home manager / archive master.tar.gz, and I'm gonna import home manager. I will set home manager.user.root to import root home home.nix. This is a new file that I'm gonna create, and I will enable ZSH globally and set ZSH as the user default shell. Save and create a new file called root home.nix, and in this file it's just very regular home manager configuration that it accepts packages as the parameter and set home.username to root, home directory to /root, home.state version to 22.05. I'm pretty sure it applies to 23, 24 when the next years to come. I will enable Alacrity, which is the terminal that I'm going to use. And for ZSH, I will enable it, and I will enable auto suggestion and also completion. I will use OMyZSH as the plugin manager. I will set the theme to random and enable some plugins such as Git, vmode, Docker, also I will set the i3 config for root. The only thing I want to set here is that when I type Alt Enter, it will open Alacrity. Okay, let me use NixOS rebuild switch to apply the changes again. Still, it will take for a while. Cool, I will reboot the system again. Type root, login, and type Alt Enter. Great, it's using Alacrity instead of Xterm, and apparently ZSH is enabled and using random theme. Next, I'm gonna verify something. So I can use Git, and I have Python installed, and I can use Docker PS to list some Docker containers. Just for demonstration, I can use Docker run a BusyBox to run a bare minimal Docker container, and yes, it's successful. Cool. Thank you for watching this video. I'm gonna shut down this VM